A voice in the heart uttered the unspoken name. A dream of seeking thought, wandering through space, entered the invisible and forbidden house. The treasure was found of a supernal day. So, what is the invisible and forbidden house? Well, to me, it is the human body. And that has to awaken so we can find this treasure of a supernal day. And it is awakening, because all over the world, people are beginning to feel, if not exactly know, the supermental. So this supernal, this heavenly day, has been found. Now, Sri Aurobindo brought it down into the physical body only. He once said, "I've caught the tail of it." And he had to give up his body to implant it in the earth consciousness. Now, 23 years later, Mother is working on the transformation of the body. And she achieved so much. She spoke of her cells in the body, that they have become divine. And she also said that anyone, any place in the world who was open to that, those cells of hers would go into their body. So, Mother has taken the transformation right up to the edge of the beginning of the supramental form. And I have seen her in the subtle physical, partially in the supramental form, and it's extraordinary. There are no digestive systems. There is no death possible. And she and Sri Aurobindo are building the supramental body. And Sri Aurobindo said, he will come down in the supramental body, built in the supramental way. They asked Mother how long. She said, perhaps 300 years. That's nothing for us. A couple of births. Do you know that Sri Aurobindo was asked, how long do we stay in that place of rest after we pass away? He said, usually only 2 years, and then we take a new birth. My goodness, how many births we have had. How grateful we must be to be here at this moment of the transformation into the new body. So I have a lot to go yet. Hope you'll bear with me. In the deep subconscious glowed her jewel lamp. What does Sri Aurobindo say about this subconscious? The subconscious is a concealed and unexpressed, inarticulate consciousness which works below all our conscious physical activities. So we are here, we are sitting here, and the subconscious is working below our conscious physical activities. Just as what we call the superconscious is really a higher consciousness above from which things descend into the being, so the subconscious is below the body consciousness and things come up into the physical, the vital and the mind nature from there. Extraordinary. Just as the higher consciousness is superconscient to us and supports all our spiritual possibilities and nature, so the superconscient is the basis of our material being and supports all that comes up in the physical nature. There's so much more on the subconscious, but I take little pieces of it each week, and we keep learning more and more. So now I have to go to page 42. And see what is going to happen next. Lifted, it showed the riches of the cave. Now, this is pure Veda. The word cave refers to the subconscious domains where the past gleamings of light lie stored and hidden, guarded by the forces and beings of darkness. Temi says the cave is the subconscious depths. Lifted, it showed the riches of the cave, whereby the miser traffickers of sense, unused, guarded beneath night's dragon paws, in folds of velvet darkness draped, they sleep, whose priceless value could have saved the world. So this is truly pure Veda. And what does Sri Aurobindo tell us about the night? Because he has capitalized the night. Unused, guarded beneath night's dragon paws. He says the night is the symbol of the ignorance, or avidya, in which men live, just as light is the symbol of truth and knowledge. And in another letter on yoga, you see disciples would write to him, and he and Mother would answer questions till 2 a.m, being the whole day with people. Mother would see thousands and thousands of people each day. And then she might sleep for 2 hours till 4 a.m, and then her day would begin again. She never slept more than 2 hours. In the way that one treads with the greater light above, even every difficulty gives its help and has its value, and night itself carries in it the burden of the light that has to be. In folds of velvet darkness draped, they sleep, whose priceless value could have saved the world. A darkness carrying morning in its breast looked for the eternal wide returning gleam, waiting the advent of a larger ray and rescue of the lost herds of the sun. Again, pure Veda. So I have 3 definitions, one by Alok, one by Amal Kiran, who wrote hundreds of letters to Sri Aurobindo, questioning his use of words in Savitri. And then Temi, who taught English literature for more than 50 years in the ashram. What does Alok say about these lost herds of the sun? He says the powers and forces that emerged from the divine, but have now strayed from their purpose and fallen into a state of darkness and ignorance. Amal says, I think this is the reflection of a Vedic image and refers to the world of ignorance, where what has come from the truth has gone astray. And Temi says, the cattle of the sun, the cows of the sun, have gone down into the darkness of the caves, and the rishis have to rescue them. It is the parable of the light going into the darkness, and we have to retrieve the light. In a splendid extravagance of the waste of God, dropped carelessly in creation's spendthrift work, left in the chantiers of the bottomless world, and stolen by the robbers of the deep, the golden shekels of the eternal lie. Hoarded from touch and view and thought's desire, locked in blind antras of the ignorant flood, lest men should find them and be even as gods. Now, this very complex passage could confuse us, but if we look at it in terms of the Vedas, which were the revelations to the rishis and seers of that period, it's quite clear. So we see in this splendid extravagance of the waste of God, which is dropped carelessly in creation's spendthrift work. What is spendthrift? Anybody? Wastefully extravagant. He is a spendthrift. He's wastefully extravagant. Left in the chantier of the bottomless world. Oh, this is a French word. And Jumour tells us it is a building site where you dig the foundations. There is a lot of building. In order to build up, you have to dig down. It is like building a world. And stolen by the robbers of the deep. Now, the robbers in the Vedas are vital beings who come to steal away the good condition, or else to steal the gains of the sadhana. And that is in a letter on yoga from Sri Aurobindo to a disciple. I'll read it once again. The robbers are, as in the Veda, vital beings who come to steal away the good condition, or else to steal the gains of the sadhana. The golden shekels of the eternal lie. The shekels are coins, money in those days. Hoarded from touch and view and thought's desire, locked in blind antras of the ignorant flood. An antra is a cavern or a cave. Lest men should find them and be even as gods. So now we come to a new section, and if you have any questions, please ask them and we can talk about anything you wish. I know Savitri is not easy for many, but remember that it is entering your heart as you hear the words. And one day, everything will be revealed to you. Simply. If there are no questions, then I'll read some definitions. Well, the golden shekels of the eternal lie. Now, the word eternal here is capitalized. And every time Sri Aurobindo capitalizes a word, it's the essence of the word. So we see him capitalizing eternal. And he defines eternal. He says, that which is cannot perish. It can only lose itself. All is eternal in the eternal spirit. And then he tells us in the Life Divine, each is the whole eternal concealed. How about that? We are the eternal concealed. So we have to get out of that concealment. The eternal is our refuge. All the rest are false values, ignorance and its mazes, a self-bewilderment of the soul in phenomenal nature. So we've been through many definitions today, and you see, the more we can understand the terms Sri Aurobindo uses to define things, the faster we will grow in consciousness. But we have to do certain things. First, establish a basis of peace, where nothing can disturb us, nothing at all. One day, my teacher and my Upaguru, Aurobindo Basu, said to me, you see a man hit by a car, and he's lying there in the gutter. What do you do? It's an interesting question. His answer was, you watch him in peace and pray for his soul. See, what else can we do? We're not doctors. We're not an ambulance. There's nothing more we can do. But to be unmoved by any occurrence like that, to be calm, to be peaceful, to be totally at peace, is essential as a basis for Sri Aurobindo's yoga. And he tells us that he has told many people, this yoga is not for you. It's very demanding. It's the most difficult yoga of all. But it can be the most easy yoga of all if we can offer ourselves to the Divine Mother. I had the blessing of knowing Mother for 12 years when she was in her physical body, from 1961 to 1973. And I had the blessing of meeting her so many times. And every time I met her, she would pour into me such power and beauty and love. And Mother never judged anyone. She said, I only see the soul. I only see the soul. And that is what she would enter when we came before her. There was a time when I would take flowers to her, and I would send many flowers to her. One of my favorite flowers was the plumeria right here, psychological perfection. And one day I was showing her a flower and telling her about it. The stems of it were used in the I Ching Mother was very interested. And then the man who was with me said to me, "Put your head in Mother's lap." No experience in any future lives could be as great as that was. I always put my head on Mother's feet, but when he said this,